Today I am joined by Anthony of Makeshift Prodigy. He is in a band that is known for their live performances, and they are traveling the country to bring their energetic and uplifting music to colleges all over. How you feeling today, Anthony?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. So, you're going out on this big tour. It is a huge tour. Are there any locations that you're just more excited about than any others?
Well, I think, we really love going. It's a lot of the East Coast, and we really like just being out there. It's a lot easier to travel from date to date, I guess, than the West Coast, even though the West Coast is very beautiful, and we love being there. But we've been doing a lot of tours out in the East Coast, so just pretty much anywhere around there. We've been there so much. We've gained a lot of fans and friends, and particularly, we love going to New York. I think we're only going to the state of New York this time, and I've never actually gotten to see too much outside of the city, so I think that'll be pretty exciting for us and get out of the hustle and bustle of the actual New York City,
Yeah, plus I've only been in New York City, but I hear the state itself is just so beautiful.
That'd and like cool the upper East Coast, during fall is just, it's really stunning to drive through, so we're right in the brink of that, and all the leaves should be turning and stuff, so it'll be beautiful.
For anyone who hasn't seen you guys live or maybe hasn't seen any videos, you guys are known for having a very impressive light show to accompany your set. It's something that you don't see all that often with bands, but what led you to kind of include this aspect of the show, and how do you visualize and bring it to life?
Well, I think that basically when we got started on the idea of that, we were kind of trying all these different ideas and how to represent our sound visually. We do it with our artwork on our albums and our video stuff, but doing it live is kind of a different challenge altogether. So, and the other problem was we felt like sometimes we'd be playing shows and we wanted to be able to control our environment visually and not have to rely on different venues. Kind of sometimes, especially when you're touring, it's hit or miss sometimes. So I think that's what inspired the idea, and then we were like, all right, well, here's what we think our sound looks like, if that makes sense. What colors do we hear in the music and stuff like that? And so creatively just started tossing ideas around that way, and then Joe's our drummer. He's very technically savvy with stuff like that, and we kind of just kept using trial and error to figure out what we were going to do and kind of crack the code, so to speak.
And how do you, with all the focus on your live show, how do you get that to translate into your studio albums like Illuminate, the EP?
Well, that's been a challenge on our previous two albums, I think, at least in our opinion, just trying to capture that energy live without you actually visually seeing us. More importantly than the light show, obviously our performance is the most important thing. So I guess with Illuminate, we just try to really crank up the energy, throughout our crescendos and stuff like that to make people feel what's going on in the live show without actually being able to see us. I don't know how else to really describe it, as we just kind of try to turn it up to 11 a little bit,
It's a pretty good description, though. Now, being a band that's really for the fans, I think it really comes out with you guys with all the focus on the live shows, and even hearing you guys talk, you're so focused on your fans, and it's been said that you guys want the songs to be the emotional property of your fans. Can you kind of give an explanation of what you mean by that?
Well, I guess the way that I listen to music is it's always, kind of either guiding me on how to feel depending on the song, and or if I'm feeling a certain way, I'll listen to a song to accompany that feeling or amplify it, I guess. You know what I mean? If I want to be really happy, you listen to a happy song. Or if I really want to be sappy, listen to a sappy song. So I feel like in writing music, I like to hopefully have the ability to somewhat control or complement people's emotions. And that's kind of what we try to take into consideration when we're making these songs, is just, make people feel better or worse, or however they need to feel to get through the day,
And I think a lot of your music does kind of have that uplifting feel to it. Can you kind of give us a little hint as to the process for actually writing a Makeshift Prodigy song?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on individual songs. Sometimes we all get together and, jam out an instrumental idea and turn it into a song eventually. Or there's oftentimes where, like, Jake or I will come forward with an idea for a song on an acoustic guitar or the piano, and then we bring it to the band and turn it into, basically whatever it ends up being that you hear. And there's all kinds of different variations of this, but there's never really one process. We kind of just try and, throw paint at the canvas and see what looks good, and then, chip away at it until it actually is satisfactory in our taste.
Great. Are there any albums this year that are coming out that you're excited to listen to?
I'm not even sure of what is coming out soon. I've heard rumors of Tool having a new album coming out, which, I don't know what the timeline is on that, but I'm really excited about that. And I'm a huge Radiohead fan. I've heard rumors of them having an album coming out pretty soon.
So if you were going to play a dream tour with 3 other bands, what 3 bands would you want to have on this dream tour?
Oh, wow. That's a good one. I would probably say, and I know that every one of my bandmates' answer would be completely different for this. My answer would probably be Radiohead, Incubus, and Sigur Rós.
That would be a pretty incredible lineup, to be honest.
Yeah.
So you guys are playing a bunch of college dates on this tour. What's the difference for you guys between the atmosphere and the energy of a college date and one that's off of a campus?
Well, it's kind of different not being able to, I guess, promote to our fans that we've previously hit, I guess, in touring. Because I think most of these shows are somewhat close to the public and they're just for the campuses. That's different. So we're actually playing to a pretty much completely new audience. But thus far, everyone's been really responsive. So obviously they're studying up on, our music before we get there, if they haven't already heard it. You know what I mean?
So what do you think that the role of college radio is for the music industry?
Well, obviously in that sense, it's huge. I know when I was in school, I was all over the college radio just trying to find out what's new. Because, half the stuff that they luckily play on college radio, they usually won't play on mainstream radio. So that's great for us. I know that. And obviously, thus far on this tour, it's been helping us out because the kids seem to have heard our music some way, shape, or form. So I think it's really important because mainstream radio kind of sucks nowadays. So college radio is kind of holding up the good end of music.
If you guys were forced for one reason or another to kind of drop the uplifting indie rock sound and pick up a new genre, just for you alone, what would be something you'd be interested in just trying out?
Like another genre altogether?
Yeah.
I would imagine that we would probably, just because of like our roots and where Jake and I started off, we would probably be doing some kind of folk outfit or something like that. That's just like where Jake and I started playing guitar and doing like somewhat our own version of like folk music or singer-songwriter kind of stuff. I know that Joe would probably be doing some kind of EDM in some way, shape, or form, because he does like the DJ thing on the side like that, and he's pretty talented at it. So I think it would be probably split between that kind of, which is pretty weird.
So yes, be a pretty interesting combination with the EDM and the folk. But
Yeah.
I'd give it a shot. I'd listen to it.
I mean, I don't know if it would be one band altogether, but I know that it would go one way or the other.
Yeah, it'd be quite the combo.
If it was one band altogether, it would just be our band, I guess.
So you guys, you played in some dates in Michigan. You're playing in Indiana. You got a date at Valparaiso coming up very soon, which isn't too far from us here in Chicago. And then you're going to be moving over to the East Coast. But how can anybody kind of get information about the tour dates coming up, your bands, and how they can get tickets?
You can go to makeshiftprodigy.com, Facebook, we're all over Facebook, at Makeshift Prodigy. Twitter, we have at Makeshift Music. All of that information is all over basically any of our socials. Should be good to go with that.
Great. Well, hopefully people will go see you on tour, especially if you're one of those colleges that you guys are going to be at. There's no reason for you not to go. So hopefully you guys get some great turnout with that.
Yeah, we can't wait. We're looking forward to it.
All right. Well, thank you for coming and talking with us. It's been fun. This was Anthony with Makeshift Prodigy.